G'day fellow media collectors, and welcome to the Comic Book Movie Collector's Guide. I'm your host Troy, and this is your show about collecting all things superhero cinema. And today we are going to review Stardog and Turbo Cat on DVD. And we're going to try and answer the question, is this movie a shining star or is it just a real dog? Ooh, what do you say we find out? Stardog and Turbo Cat is a computer animated superhero movie with a runtime of 90 minutes. The film was released into theatres in the United Kingdom on the 6th of December 2019 and later in the US on the 21st of May 2020. It was also later released on DVD and Blu-ray on the 23rd of June 2020 with no 4K HD release as of this video. It was written and directed by Ben Smith, with the film being produced by Headgear Films, Screen Yorkshire, Particular Crowd and Red Star 3D, and distributed by Kaleidoscope Film Distribution. The film's animation was done by Sheffield-based animation studio Red Star 3D in its first animated feature film for the studio. Okay, so if we look at the cover, I really like this. This really sucked me in, and this is what really got me wanting to review this one, is because I thought to myself, wow, this looks really good. Not a bad cover at all, really captures your attention. Now the side, well, it's okay, as you can see. It's not too bad, blends in a little bit, but the back, look at that back cover, that's great as well. There's a lot of effort put into the dust jacket. I'm really impressed with that. Now if we look at the disc, it's just a shot. It is a color disc, that is good, that's a plus. But it's just a shot of the cover, nothing special. I think probably that picture there actually would probably look good on the disc, that one there with the two of them. Those look really good. Anyway, overall, they've put a bit of effort into this cover, and like I said, it really sucks you in. It makes you want to look at the movie. So for that, oh, look, I'm probably going to give this a 7 out of 10. So, this movie introduces us to Buddy, a loyal dog who is launched into space by his scientist owner, David, back in 1969. But when the capsule malfunctions, Buddy is transported into the present day and crash lands in a small town where pets are no longer welcome. Desperate to be reunited with his owner, Buddy recruits the help of a vigilante cat named Turbo Cat, and together they embark on a daring madcap adventure to find Buddy's owner and save the town from an evil threat.
Time to save the day.
Look, first off, this is a kids' movie, so I didn't expect the story or the script to be stellar, but I kind of was expecting it to be, I don't know, somewhat interesting at least. But the story is about as basic as you're going to get, with a lot of, shall we say, well-used tropes and borrowed ideas, shall we say. The script itself was pretty weak in so many things. So many things never get explained in this movie, and it's like a minefield of plot holes that you find as the movie goes on, which it does at such a pace. You never really have time to worry about the plot holes that you spot. Before you blink it, you kind of onto the next thing, and you've forgotten about your last plot hole, and now you're questioning, like, how did we get here?
Might create unnecessary confusion.
And look, the use of the slapstick comedy, shall we say, to cover over these holes is pretty evident. It really relies on you to fill in the blanks yourself at times. Now, before you say, but hey Troy,
just a stupid kid's show.
Yeah, look, that is true, but with the level of kids movies today, it doesn't hurt to put a little bit of work into your script and not rely on, say, the slapstick comedy and colourful fight scenes to, like, fill it out and cover over that, shall we say, weak script. So, look, with that, look, I'm only going to give this, at best, a 10 out of 30. So, from my research, these characters aren't based off any published comic book characters as such, and were created by the studio for this movie. But it is very clear that they are rip-off versions of Batman and Superman in a lot of ways, with some of the supporting cast being some very cliched support characters as well.
Used by so many writers, it is a tiresome cliche.
Now, as far as the animation goes, it's probably more on par with some of the cheaply done 3D cartoons that are on TV at the moment than a theatrical movie. Yep, That's right, this thing went to cinemas in the UK, and I thought this was like a straight to DVD release, and when you see it, you would think that that's the case, as they use the same 5 or 6 sets over and over and over again, and the same 9 to 10 characters throughout the entire movie, giving you the impression that there's only like 5 people that live in this big town, and there's no one else. Because every time something happens, you only see these 5 people. That's it.
What is everyone else?
Now, as far as the voice actors go, I will have the list up here, and it's pretty much all British actors from what I can tell. You have the likes of Luke Evans, Bill Nighy, and Nick Frost, who didn't sound anything like Nick Frost. But look, no one stood out. They were pretty much phoning it in for a paycheck, from what I can gather. So I'm afraid with that, I'm only going to give it the dismal score of 5 out of 20. So we have no special features on this DV. It's just the film. It just starts off, boom, the film, nothing else. Seems it had just as much effort put into this DVD release as it did the movie, so that's probably why there's nothing here. Anyway, yep, you guessed it. It's going to get a score of 0 out of 10. Now, the critic score came in at 50% and the audience score came in at 43%. Now, look, this seems a little high from what it probably should be. And from a couple of things that I've read, I now know why that's the case. As it turns out, there are a lot of 10-star ratings out there written by some bots all about how great Charlie D'Amelio, I think it is in the movie. Yet she is like maybe 10 lines of dialogue in the whole movie, and from what I'm read, she's some famous TikTok star or Instagram star who I've never heard of before.
What the hell is that?
And that someone out there is trying to raise the reviews to help her exposure. So look, the levels some of these social media stars will go to these days, some of the reviews, you got to read them, they are almost incoherent. It's not hard to see it was written by a robot. Anyway, with that, I'm still going to have to give it, a 5 out of 10. So, look, the reason I picked this is straight off the cover alone, it looks like it would be a great kids movie, and the cover makes it look like the animation would be great. But alas, I was wrong.
Can't believe we got it so wrong.
Now, this is a younger kids movie, and I think older kids would probably get bored with it, as the story is pretty weak at best, with the plot holes, and look, the animation is a bit of a mixed bag as well, where I feel like the characters were good, the core character's good, but everything else looked cheap and knocked up, with no real time or effort put into it. But the main few characters, they didn't look too bad. Now look, the pace of the movie at times was all over the shop, with it being like lightning fast in spots and just dragged out in others. And at the end of the day, I found it pretty boring overall, with only like a couple of laughs, okay, maybe chuckles at best, and a predictable story that is telegraphed at every point of the movie, that you just know what's coming next.
You're always so damn predictable.
Look, at the end of the day, I really think this is a young kids movie, and they might get a kick out of it, but as far as older kids, nah, or adults even, I just would not recommend it to anyone to watch, that's for sure. It's pretty ordinary all round. So look, with that, I'm probably going to be generous when I say I give it a 5 out of 20. So first up is collectability. If we look at the collector's scale, I would say this would be for your kids and your completist collectors, as there's nothing really in between there for anyone else to pick up a copy. Now, as far as your availability goes, this one is very much on the common side of things, as you will have no trouble finding a copy at your usual retail outlets, and of course there are no shortages out there of copies of DVD or Blu-ray on your second-hand markets like eBay. As far as your average price goes, you are looking at somewhere between $8 to $20 for a DVD, and if you're looking for Blu-ray, somewhere between the $10 to $27 mark. And of course, there is nothing out there for 4K HD as of this video. Now, for the final score, we get a grand total of 32 out of 100. Ooh, there's a sound. That's not a great score at all. But with what they served up, I think that's a pretty fair score. So look, we asked the question, is this a shining star, or is this a real dog of a movie? This is a dog of a movie. This is a great example of a first-time animator having a crack at a feature-length film and unfortunately coming up short. Look, nice try fellas, but better luck next time.
Let us hope there is a next time.
So, if you like this video and you want to see some more of my reviews, why don't you go click that one there? Or maybe you want to see some of my collection updates. Got you covered too. Why don't you click that one there? And of course, don't forget to do the most important thing, throw me a bat like, and don't forget to hit that subscription button on the way out. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you next time.